His is just in 2 different colors because his jacket is in 2 different colors. So I want to cut my piece for my strap. I mean, you know, this is the part that holds the bow tie in place. I cut it 2 inches wide by the neck measurement and add 5 more inches to it, okay? Because we had to put it on the hardware, the gliders, to make an adjustment. In the bow part itself, you can cut it on the bias or not, it's up to you. And I cut that 15 inches long by 7 inches wide. And it depends on how wide you want this to finish. This finished 3 inches wide. The 2 pieces finish on both ends and they just overlap. I do a gather stitch in the middle, I'll show that, and then I use the thread to wrap it around and slit it on the knot. So my knot, I don't know what happens to that. I've cut it on the biases around here somewhere, or I left it on the table. Sew these together, add a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and leave an opening in the center. You don't have to finish it because it's going to overlap anyway. So this is not the typical bow tie that you have to tie it in a knot. Those are gorgeous. This is the easy breezy bow tie. That's what I'm calling it. Super easy, easy breezy. Is that stitching? No. Why not? Thank you. So it's up to you whether you want to cut it on the bias. If you cut it on the bias, it's going to eat up more fabric. But it's a softer tie, so they do look different. But if somebody looking at my stuff that close, hello, something is wrong, okay, to see if it's on the bias or not. Right, and they won't know the difference anyway. Only you really know the difference. So let's throw these 2 together. 1/2 inch seam allowance. To my center, I do want to back stitch. I don't want it coming apart. And I'm going to do the same to my other side. What's nice about this is you really don't have to press it because you want all the edges to be nice and soft. So you don't want hard creases on a bow tie. Unless you got one of those at the store. So I want this seam to be in the center. So I'm going to take these and fold it to the center. Because I want this to end up being in my back. So I'm going to stitch across here at a 1/2 and a 1/2. I'm going to take this one and fold it and do the same thing. You know how we sew like a pro. So we don't have to stop, just connect them all together. Cut this. Then I would turn right sides out through the opening. Push the corners out really good. And then I'm going to take it and fold it into thirds. So I'm going to fold this, fold that, it's in the thirds. And if I think that's a little bit too small, you see that's forming my bow right there, I can increase this and pull it out some more until I can get it to whatever size that I want it, bigger, smaller, whatever. And if, of course, I've seen some way wider, and of course, this was cut 7 inches wide. You can make it small and make this as narrow or skinny as you like. It's just up to you.
So we're never pressing that out?
No, because I don't want a hard crease line on it. This one here is not pressed. Okay. It's not pressed at all. This fabric is just sharper. Now this is pressed, so I stitched this and joined it together on the serger, but you can just sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You have to finish one of the ends and then take whatever, I use a knit needle usually, and push it through so I can turn my right side out. That I do press. And one end is finished and the other isn't. And I'll show you how to attach the glider. This also I cut, what, 3 inches wide this I did cut on the bias because I wanted to have a nice soft fold over my knot. So that too, I'm gonna stitch at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I think I cut it 3 by 3. I'm gonna cut the ends off, but I did cut it on the bias. I want this nice and soft. And when you cut it on the bias, it's easier to turn the right side out. It's easier than if it's not. Even the strap part is just easier if it's on the bias. It's because it's softer, so it's going to be easier to flip the right side out. And this, if it's too wide, I can just take it and fold it over like that and stitch it. I can make my knot as big or as small as I like, because this is going to flip to the other side and you won't even see that pleat. So I don't have to go through a lot of changes trying to adjust it to whatever size I want. So 3 by 3 on that. Now this, I want to take this and fold it over thirds. And then fold it in half. And do a basting stitch right up my center. So I baste up my center. And then I'm going to just turn it. And then baste again, opposite direction. So 2 rows of stitches. And then I'll pull the 2 together so it can gather up a little bit to create my knot in the center. And it may be difficult, so if it don't want to go, this is what I did with the other one. I just took it and bunched that up together like that and wrapped the thread right around it. And I got my knot. So I got my sections on my bow tie. I don't even have to hand stitch or anything. I do need to figure out how wide I want my knot to be now, how much I need to stitch it. So I figured about 3/4 of an inch for a seam allowance. And the rest I can cut off. Who's going to get the phone? We're not. You're going to go back to the regular stitch length, and I'm going to do it a couple of times because I'm going to trim it close and I don't want it to come loose. You're like, nobody's home. We went out to play. We wish. Alright, so the thread just had to break, right? Didn't nobody tell me to clean my fingernails. Alright, so there we go. So I'm going to trim it close. You see I have 2 rows of stitches really close. I'm going to flip it right side out. So then I take this, fold it back and forth, and roll it up tight and slide it right through there. So you play around with it to get it to lay exactly the way you want it. And now we need to get the hardware on here. So I want to take this. This is the part that helps you adjust the bow tie. So this goes on first. And then this next. And then you push this to adjust, and then this goes down in here, in between let's pull it up some more, and then it comes back sort of lock in place. And now it's adjustable. This end is. And if you like, you can stitch that sort of stay in place. And then the other piece goes on here. And then we would take that and fold it back and then stitch it down. Well, first I need to get my knot in there. I'm just slide it in there. My bow tie.
We put it on that one or on the other one?
Yeah, I'm just putting it on here so you can see. I'm not going to stitch it. Yeah, I need to go on the right one. This goes on here. This folds back. Close it up. And there goes your bow tie. You make the adjustment in the back and just hook it like that. Easy, huh? That's not difficult. No. You can make really nice looking bow ties. All right, so this is the bow tie for prom.
And you have that uploaded, you have that